Your generation developed values based decision making as a survival tool. When the world changes rapidly, external rules become unreliable. So you learn to navigate using internal moral compasses instead. This is why you'll quit jobs that don't align with your values, research companies before buying, and question systems older generations accept. You're not entitled. You're using psychological tools to navigate uncertainty. But this creates tension that explains why generational conflicts feel so intense. The real reason these conflicts feel so emotionally charged comes down to threat detection systems in your brain. Growing up during accelerating climate change, economic instability, and political polarization, your developing nervous system became highly attuned to potential dangers affecting your future security. When older generations dismiss concerns about housing, jobs, or environmental issues, your brain interprets this as minimizing real threats you need to navigate. Those back in my day conversations feel frustrating because your pattern recognition knows the landscape has fundamentally changed, making their experience less relevant to your current survival planning. Your generation developed emotional granularity, precisely identifying complex feelings rather than just feeling bad. You recognize anxiety, overwhelm, and frustration as distinct experiences needing different responses. This emotional sophistication appears dramatic to generations who suppressed emotional complexity, but it's actually advanced emotional intelligence for navigating complex social landscapes. However, this awareness creates an unexpected problem most people don't realize. This emotional awareness creates an exhausting paradox. Your heightened emotional intelligence means you're constantly processing not just your own feelings, but everyone else's too, picking up on micro expressions, tone shifts, and energy changes that others miss or ignore. This can create what feels like emotional overload. Many in this generation find themselves doing the invisible work of managing group dynamics, sensing tension in rooms others think are fine, and feeling responsible for emotional outcomes they didn't create. Your brain treats this constant monitoring as survival, helping you navigate complex social situations and avoid rejection. But this skill has a hidden cost. You're processing more emotional data than your nervous system can handle, leaving you peopled out faster than seems normal. When older generations call you dramatic for needing alone time after socializing, they don't realize you've been unconsciously absorbing everyone's emotional energy. You're not weak, you're processing cognitive loads they can't see. This hypervigilance makes certain spaces feel instantly draining, even when nothing obvious happens. But there's another layer that connects to how your generation processes identity completely differently. This emotional processing connects to how your generation builds identity in completely fluid ways. Unlike previous generations who developed identity around stable categories like career or location, you're creating identity as a dynamic, evolving process. You treat identity like a creative project rather than a permanent assignment, experimenting with different aspects of yourself and allowing contradictions to exist. This flexibility helps you adapt to rapidly changing social and economic landscapes. But this creates identity fatigue that nobody talks about. Constantly building your sense of self requires enormous mental energy. Previous generations relied on external structures, their job, their hometown, to define them. You have to construct meaning from scratch, often multiple times as you change. When older generations say this is not knowing who you are, they miss that you're doing sophisticated psychological work rather than accepting templates that might not fit. This fluidity means you experience imposter syndrome differently, not because you don't belong, but because you see that identity is constructed anyway. You recognize the performance aspects of adult life that others internalized as truth. This awareness creates a specific loneliness that explains why connection feels so complicated. Subscribe for more psychology that actually gets you, and click that video next.